On the house side of Dreamboat, we need to start working on the wiring. There's a lot of questions that we haven't really explored. Did this only have the driving starter battery, or did it have house batteries? We don't know, because when we acquired this coach, there was a lot going on with it, a lot. So in this video, we are going to explore Dreamboat's house side. Now, if you haven't seen our running light video that we just put out, we're pretty set up with his running lights, but we are road legal and working. Now it's time for us to address the house side.
There were some previous modifications that I don't understand why. We've put an AC on the roof, but there's actually no wire run to it. They took that away when they removed the previous, the original air conditioning.
And the wiring should be there, but it's not. So that's one of the things we know we need to explore and figure out what happened.
There was an extra panel that had been installed behind us here. It would have been under the kitchen counter that was heavily modified when we bought it. I don't know why that was there. I need to make sure that that wiring didn't cause any problems. So we're going to start with the house wiring and see what we can find.
This will help us by sort of doing an exploratory mission. It's going to help us figure out what we need to order and how we want to address some of Dreamboat's customizations is what we'll call them.
Yeah. Yep.
But first, let us show you those two panels that are in here, and we have no idea why they're done this way. So, but let's take a look. Let's make sure all those breakers are off.
Yep. This is the original breaker panel, and I need to pull this off and see what's actually connected. It's possible that one of these breakers may not actually be connected to anything because there's no wire up at the AC. I don't know if it's just dead-ended somewhere in the wall or if it's been disconnected from a breaker. There was also a secondary panel that was actually over here on the floor. It would have been under the kitchen counter in the build as it was when we got it. It was definitely not original. It's newer. It actually may be a better choice to replace this panel. One of the main reasons that I deleted that panel over there is that the wire was just sort of run underneath, kind of real sketchy, to the other side of the coach. Clearly that installation couldn't stay, so now I need to investigate over here and see what I'm dealing with for house wiring.
You may have noticed as you follow our project, or maybe you're new to our channel, so welcome. But we have a giant hole right here, and we have an earlier video where we talk about why and what happened there. So you might want to go and, check that out. But one of the reasons we haven't patched it is because if we have to fish wires like up and through, it'd be a lot easier to access with this open. I don't want to just cover it just to have to remove panels and then run wires again. So we are kind of in this exploratory stage of things. I think we should just go and make sure all our breakers are off and plug Dreamboat in and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't burn to the ground. But I think we need to get out our testers and our electrical kit and start kind of getting some answers so that we know how to move forward on this project. I'm actually astonished that we have a key that actually fits these. But this is where the power cabinet, cubby, I don't know, is. Now I have a new cord, a much longer cord, and a new box right here. On a side note, we know we don't have a converter for Dreamboat's 12-volt system. It was a fire hazard and it was already not working, and so we removed it already. And we understand that we're gonna have to see how he's wired up. It's a mystery. So I'm gonna plug him in. I'm a little nervous, if you want to know the truth. You ready?
To connect that, sure. Go right ahead.
I'm nervous.
The breakers are off, so it shouldn't burn down immediately.
Anticlimactic. That's what you want with electricity.
Good point. Valid point.
So what's the plan here?
So the kill switch is off up front, which means the battery power that starts the motor can't be going anywhere because that kill switch is off. So we shouldn't see power on any of the 12-volt light circuits.
Well, let's check that.
Okay. Should be no...
There's nothing.
No wiggle there.
Hooray!
All right.
CB Dane suggested that we get that better
It'll tell us how much
tester.
Current you actually have in a wire.
I think we might consider doing that in the next couple of weeks, because
I shouldn't have any power at the outlets because all the breakers are off. I don't see anything. I shouldn't see anything, so that's good. This is a 30 amp breaker. So this is the 30 amp main breaker. What that does is that connects the power coming into the coach that we've just connected up to this panel. If I flip this breaker on, the panel should now be live, but the breakers to go out and feed all the lines in the coach are still off. So I still shouldn't see any power anywhere in the coach. Nothing here.
okay, good news. First thing we did was we checked the kill switch.
To make sure we had no bleed through on the 12 volt circuits.
Correct. The second thing we did is we made sure all our breakers were off.
Yep, on the house power, the 120 volt.
Then we plugged Dreamboat in and we checked all of our outlets to make sure we still were in the off position and nothing was live. So now we're going to start turning breakers and testing and seeing what is still functioning, what's live.
I'm going to choose one breaker and turn it on.
Okay.
Frustration is things like the AC circuit are not labeled. So this is just going to be, we're going to put one on and we're going to kind of test everything we can get to.
Okay.
Try number 2, outlets.
Sure. So with breaker 2, we're still having everything off.
We have nothing coming on with breaker 2. I'm going to shut breaker 2 back off and try the outlets again on breaker number 1. We have 108 volts. Breaker number 1 powers the bathroom outlet. It may power all the outlets, but for sure the bathroom. Doesn't seem to power that one.
Well, that's where we had weirdness anyway.
Well, so they may have a wire disconnected somewhere. That means those don't have power. No power here. We do have power here.
What a weird...
Yeah, this is where the converter used to be.
Okay.
Which would take house current 110, 120 and make it into 12 volt to power the interior lights. Breaker number 2 did not seem to power anything. Breaker number 1 powers this bathroom outlet and the outlet up in the front next to the co-pilot's chair. I'm going to turn that off now and put on outlet number 3 and see what we get.
Breaker 3?
Breaker 3.
And we're hoping that those outlets are powered.
Hoping that it does the middle of the coach.
Okay.
One in. Oh, good news, good news, good news. We have power here.
Haha.
So if this one also does, then this is not as crazy as it could have been. Yes, yep, this is good.
What we've learned so far is...
Really good news. We've got 3 circuits for the interior of the coach here. Circuit 1 is the bathroom and up front here. And then circuit 2 didn't work at all, so we're suspicious it's for the AC. Circuit 3 is the middle of the coach outlets.
Over the wheel wells.
Over the wheel well outlets. That's great news. There's only one mystery, and one mystery is easier to solve than 3. So,
yeah.
Great news.
I would say that's a win for starting this.
Speaking of starting this,
I think we should take the kill switch and turn it on and see if that provides us with any
power at any
of these things.
12 volt points.
Yeah. All right. More exploring. Let's go.
Next up, there's a couple suspicious situations. We're going to see if that's what circuit number 2 is powering. That right there is number 1 on my list for things to check next.
All right. So turn off the others and leave 2 on.
Fabulous box of mystery here. I don't see any current with number 2 on, so I'm going to see if this is with the mid coach outlets on circuit. All right, it looks like this sketchy situation is on circuit number 3.
So we still haven't found circuit number 2.
Right now we have 3 on.
You know that this is on 3.
Yep.
And now we're trying to figure out what mystery that is.
Let's call that door number 2.
Okay.
Let's figure out what's behind door number 2.
That's scary.
I don't really like the look of any of that.
Looks like they were using spray foam like vandals in here. Wow.
It's on right now. 3 is on. This dead-ended cut wire here and this one here suggests that something is connected within these wire nuts that's been cut out. That's not good.
I know we haven't turned the battery kill switch on. And for as weird and sketchy as this fact-finding mission has proven to be, there's been no sparking, no arcing, no humming, no electrical danger signs. So let's put all the breakers on and see if we can find anything connected to number 2.
All right. Okay. It's a good next step.
All right.
That's a good idea, but I think the first thing I want to do real quick is just pull the cover off this panel and see if there's anything connected to circuit number 2.
That's true, because it would be fruitless if there's no actual wire on
that solves the mystery real quick. So we do have a wire on breaker number 2. It's this wire. The actual wires are kind of oriented how they should be, which is this one to this, that one to that, and the 2 in the bottom go left and right. So that's all cool. There is a wire here. Unfortunately, it disappears directly into the wall, so I don't actually know where it goes past that. All right, we've got our main breaker on. You can see that we've got power here. This is number 2. The question is, does it work? And in fact, it does. We've got power there. We know that outlets work off of both these bottom ones. We've got power there. Moving over, we've got power there. This tells me it's not a breaker issue.
And I'm going to start him so that we don't run down the battery just testing stuff.
I think that's a good idea. We're running. I'll start testing.
This panel right here bridges the engine side of the coach to the house side of the coach. And Andrew has already discovered that we have a fuse out.
Motor side power comes this way, and these circuits, purple, yellow, pink, these are the 12-volt circuits that would be like ceiling lights overhead, bathroom, powered items in 12 volt. This fuse right here is blown, and I don't know why, but I'm going to see if I have one to replace it now, and we'll see if that puts power to the circuits when the engine is running. I think I've got some of these.
I think you're going to want to buy some next time we run to town, because we're going to go through a lot of them figuring out the wire issues that this thing has.
Maybe here. What we're going to do is have you start the engine, and I'm going to see if that fuse blows immediately.
And you're going to film it?
Why not?
Okay. Scary. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Andrew, is I'm going to turn on, let's take this in more than one step. I'm going to turn on hit the kill switch and make it hot. And let's see if that changes anything before I go and fire it up and blow the only fuse we have.
Okay, just start it up. This fuse has not blown while we were testing. The circuits, purple, yellow, and pink at a couple points in the coach are powered. So that's good, purple, yellow, pink. I still don't understand why we've got a draw in this battery when we don't use the kill switch. We haven't solved that problem right now, but we are making progress. All right, what have we learned?
What we've learned is that drivable vehicle portion passes through that fuse to the house portion 12 volt, which means this is probably the only battery that Dreamboat has had. I don't see any evidence of other batteries anywhere else. So moving forward with this project, I know that I want to now order wiring. I know I want to get some 12 volt lighting, some 12 volt switches, and a bunch of like those little parts that take time to get here. In addition to that, we know we want solar on the roof of Dreamboat, so we know we're going to need batteries, and we're going to need converters and inverters and all of that type of infrastructure as we design this system, and that will be expensive, and it will also really move this project forward.
And we're going to have to make sure it dovetails with the ancient electrical that we have down here. I haven't done enough research to understand if it's just a plug and play new fuse box, make your new connections, and call it good.
But if you've done this, put a comment below and educate us. I'm going to get out the manuals and start like looking and seeing where wires used to be run, although it doesn't seem like anything is where it's supposed to be. Yeah. Not really. Yeah. So moving forward on this project, we need to run some wires behind the Murphy bed. And if you haven't seen that video, we did that last week so that we can add lighting and convenience charging and that kind of stuff in that area. And we want to run it before we put the wall up. So stay tuned for that. There's more to come.
Yep. Any insights, drop us a comment.
Please like, subscribe, click the notification bell. It really helps our channel.
Thanks for watching.